आइए जानते हैं आज के मुख्य समाचार। फंबल ने 2024 में अपने 30% एम्प्लॉयज़ को घर बैठने को बोल दिया है। वो कह रहे हैं ग्रोथ काफ़ी स्लो है। हिंडर की पेरेंट कंपनी मैच ट्रूप ने एंगेजमेंट में बढ़ती तेज़ी से डिक्लाइन रिपोर्ट किया है, ज़्यादातर जेंजियों की वजह से। बिंज और हिंडर एआई वीडियो और स्लो डेटिंग को प्रमोट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, लेकिन इमोशनल डिस्कनेक्ट की प्रॉब्लम अभी भी जारी है। लेफ्ट और राइट की कश्मकश में क्या लोगों को मिलेगा उनका प्यार? जानने के लिए बेकरार बरकरार रहिए। You matched, you smiled, they texted, and you replied. The dopamine hits and the fantasy builds. And then they ghost you. Or you do. Or maybe it just fades. This isn't love, it's the mere illusion of possibility. And we're busy chasing connections in a world that is wired for disconnect. And we're getting high on the chase, not the closeness. It's just distracting you from your wounds, from your truth. Let's go deeper. We grew up watching Bollywood romance. Couples singing in the rain, dying for their love, all happily ever after. But we date like we're filling out a resume, you know? Swiping just for validation, not for connection. Our parents had arranged marriages with families deeply involved, everybody invested. We have dating apps with barely any involvement of the heart. You know, we inherited the pressure of tradition with the confusion of modern freedom. No wonder we're all emotionally lost. Apps gave us infinite choices, but not deeper love. More swipes, more options, more emptiness. You're either too intense or not serious enough. You're ghosted for being vulnerable. You're breadcrumb because someone's lonely, not interested. Breadcrumbing, giving you enough hope to keep you waiting for more. The average Indian dating app user spends 3 to 5 hours a week swiping, and less than 10% report any real connection. You know, choice doesn't always mean connection. In fact, too many choices create confusion, decision fatigue, and deep dissatisfaction. And behind all this, dopamine, the very same neurochemical that gets activated when there's addiction involved. You know, dating apps have hijacked the reward system. So every notification, every text, every like that you get, it sets out a sense of reward. It keeps you hooked to the feeling of being wanted instead of chasing any real, deeper emotional connection. You know, your brain starts craving the rush, not the relationship. Most people haven't healed. They've just moved on to someone else. Abandonment wounds, commitment phobia, daddy issues, people pleasing, self-worth gaps. But none of it is addressed. We just jump from one situationship to another, hoping love will fix what childhood broke. Every person you date feels like a different version of the same pain. You can't bond in the present when you're still bleeding from the past. In India, sex is either suppressed or sensationalized. Men are taught to chase, women are taught to hide. Desire is a taboo. Intimacy is confused with performance. No one talks about emotional safety, consent, or how touch can heal, only how it can be earned or given away. We crave closeness, but we carry shame. That's the trap. This conflict between desire and guilt leads to emotional dissonance, especially in women. They want to explore, but of course, they are conditioned to suppress. Intimacy isn't just sex, it's being seen. But now, we reply late, post stories instead of feelings, and disappear the moment it gets real. We're together but not connected, talking but not present. If everything's casual, nothing feels sacred. And just when you want to explore, boom. Parents want you settled, society wants a shadi, even if you've barely figured it out yet. How do you build love when no one ever taught you to build a relationship with yourself? We're rushing into commitment before we heal the commitment wounds within. Maybe it's not about swiping harder. It's about healing deeper. The problem is not dating. The problem is disconnection. You don't need another match. You need emotional clarity, safe spaces, honesty, and the courage to stop chasing what never felt real in the first place. As a psychologist, I say real love begins when you stop performing and you start showing up. Modern love isn't dead. We've just forgotten how to feel it. Let's unlearn the noise, reclaim the depth. Because the real revolution is intimacy that actually means something. In primitive tribes, choosing a mate wasn't about filters and bios. It was about survival, trust, collaboration. Hunters and gatherers valued roles, rhythms, rituals. Yes, attraction was chemical, but also spiritual and instinctive. You needed someone you could rely on, not just match with. Today, we've replaced gut instinct with swiping. But our brain still craves that primal sense of, I feel safe with you. Understanding how we are wired helps us choose better today. Real connection isn't a fantasy. It is built from biology, psychology, and presence. Love is simple. We have made it complicated. Let's simplify. Let's feel again.